Hey, folks, this is Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast Hip Hop, and we are here Thursday with the Legendary Connects with myself and my main man from the East Coast, none other than the fabulous Dr. Dre, and in the South, barefoot in red mud, Miss Bernadette.
You got jokes. You got jokes.
I got jokes. Oh, yeah, I got jokes. Mm-hmm. What's up with you, Dre?
Hey, man, it's happening. It's right here. It's Legendary Connects, and we've had a hell of a weekend, and we're going to have a hell of a week coming up.
Looking to it always. Talk to me. What you got for me today, Doc?
Hey, I want to thank Sample List and what's his name, Bernadette? I always forget how to pronounce his name.
Who sampled with Olu, Blue, and
Olu. Yes. And Lakeitha, the extraordinary Lakeitha. Lakeitha, we had an incredible Sunday. Alonzo joined us. We were doing part 2 of a room we did a few weeks ago, and the room was great. Big up to my man, Fat Boy came through, Corrupt came through, and of course my man, Wild Man Steve came through from my glorious WBAU days, and quite a few others like Bam came through. And we just had a good time, a good conversation, and a lot of great stories that went out there, especially from you, Godfather of the West Coast Hip Hop.
You know what? I'm a storyteller, man. I went to, well, first of all, let me say this. I come from a family of storytellers. One of my favorite things to do, my uncle would come out here. My dad's brother-in-law, well, his brother-in-law would come out here. When I would sit here, man, and get up in the morning and listen to them tell stories about growing up in Mississippi and fighting with white people and running from the Klan and having to pick cotton, had to pick up so much cotton before a certain time, and then they all just said one day, forget it, we out of here, and they jumped on the dog.
Oh, your people, wait a minute, your folks was into People Olympics. You guys were the Olympic sport, and they had to do the 2,000-yard dash.
Yeah, so they jumped ship, jumped into some old raggedy Buicks, and made their way out. My daddy came out through the Navy, so they hear them stories being told, man. I always wanted to be able to have that skill, so I joined Toastmasters, a Toastmasters club, and specialized in storytelling, so I could be an effective storyteller like my dad and my uncle. So I'm glad to hear that you appreciate my stories, and I got a ton of them.
But I got one thing I was angry at you about.
What I do?
I had to wait till getting on that room that we did with the crew to find out the name of your book, and that your book was on Audible. And I said, we've been doing this a minute, and he never told me the book. He said, oh, Dre, I'm going to your book signing. I got to sign my book. Oh, Dre, I'm doing this. And I said, Lonzo, what's the name of your book? So tell everybody right now in Legendary Connects the name of your book that you can get on Audible also.
My book on Audible and on Amazon is called N.W.A. N.W.A. Not Without Alonzo. N.W.A. Not Without Alonzo on Amazon, on Audible, and also on Kindle. So if you got a digital download of the manuscript, if you want an audio version of it, it's available. Now I have a special private limited edition version set to original music, where all the tracks have a nice little bumper track under the bottom of them. All the chapters have a bumper track under the bottom of them. So if you like listening to music and riding, that's what you do. I got that for you too. So N.W.A. Not Without Alonzo.
Where do I get that one from?
That one right there is only through, and that's directly through me, through the website, or you can email me, and it's like $15, and I can mail it to you, because I got so much stuff I'm pushing right now between my T-shirts, my poster, my book, my audio book. I had to go jump on stamps.com and get a mailing machine, man. So yes, the book I sell the book, the audio book, the comic book. I have a limited edition comic book featuring myself, Dre, and Yella on the cover, made by Ed Pessner, and it's about the last 200. I'm down to maybe about 75 now. So when these books are gone, you can't call me no more. So it's gonna be over.
Now that I realize I gotta send an address and get the books mailed to me and get one of these audio books, I probably gotta get it on cassette, because who knows if it's on a CD or something like that.
Well, actually, it's on USB drive. It's on USB drive.
Look, man, I'm making cassette and CD jokes, and you go to actually.
I think I'm trying to keep from making. I'm trying to figure out why you want to book in the first goddamn place. That's all right. I ain't gonna go there.
Look, man. This is what I do.
All right.
This is why I have 2 books I'm doing, and the first one will be released later this year, and that's called Yo Bigger Stuff, the Dr. Dre episodes from 1989 to 1995, and the second one I haven't titled it yet. But the good thing is, I wanted people to know who are checking us out, because they want to get all the deep, dark secrets. You got to go to N.W.A, Not Without Alonzo, on Audible and everywhere else he's talking about. So I just want to get everybody to know that that's what was going down. And thank you so much for coming out to that room, because they're going to get you in a room with them also. So that's coming up too.
Looking forward to it.
All the great stories you told. All the great stories you told. And we got to give great credit to the one and only Queen Bee Connector, who put that all together and made that happen.
Okay, she was froze for a minute, but she started smiling. Now she's back.
I'm back. Oh, I'm back. Yes, man. Thank you, both of y'all, for coming up, because I think y'all made the game.
We're going to get Ulu on this show, and we're going to definitely get Alonzo on that show, because we got a lot happening now. We're starting to turn and burn. But here's the biggest thing I want to ask you about, Alonzo, because it's a big thing here in New York. In New Jersey, today, in New Jersey, we in 7 locations, you are now allowed to buy recreational marijuana.
Congratulations.
That means you can just walk up and get weed. I know you've been doing it for years. It's a beautiful thing. But this is brand new out here. It's like, wait a minute. New York is about to fall, and they're going to have it. There's so many folks connecting. And they had a packed parking lot, and people stood online for 2 hours to get their weed from the many locations in New Jersey.
Okay.
But the question I got for you, Alonzo, in today's world, are more women smoking weed than when we started out in the late 70s, early 80s? What do you think? What's your experience with that?
I think so, man. Because I know a few ladies, man, that they smoke weed like people smoke cigarettes. I mean, in the morning with a cup of coffee, getting in the car, and they that's their thing. And back in the day, if your girlfriend smoked a joint with you, it was like, it was all that old pretty shit. But nowadays, them sisters they hotboxing and shit. So it's a whole different vibe these days. So yeah, I definitely think that more sisters are definitely indulging in the sweet taste of marijuana than they did back in the day. Bernadette, what you think about that?
And you know what? Well, before we go to Bernadette, can I tell a story?
Go for it.
Then I go to Bernadette.
Go for it.
Okay.
Sure. Okay.
About that for me, hold on 1 second, Bernadette, is that I love when women are smoking weed and they call for lung up, like we gonna call for lung up, and they try to look cool doing it. And they say, "Well, come here, baby. Let me give you a kiss." You just coughed up a lung. I ain't trying to hear you. What's wrong with you with that? But the interesting thing, and that's why I said, hold on, Bernadette, is how I met Queen Bernadette. And I'm going to let her tell the story of the Dr. Dre and Bernadette union in New York City. Queen B, you on the line with us?
I'm on the line here. So the first time I got my shot at radio was working with Jungle Raps, Jungle Blunts, who had a product that's all natural out of the straight from the jungle of the Philippines. We probably going to have to get Chris on because it's a great thing they're doing out of the Philippines.
Yes, we are.
As a brand ambassador, I got to be a brand ambassador because this so-called weed head said he was a weed head. And I was like, dude, if you're a weed head, I can show you how to make money with the green rush is what I called it. And so I discovered Chris and his Jungle Raps, and I told some friends about it. And H-Dub said, I know somebody who has who's a videographer who tried another company. I'm not going to say their name, but I know their names. I know Raps. I know. So let me know if you want to get a Jungle Rap and everything, because women sometimes, I've been told lately since I've become a big girl that I need to roll my own, but I don't have to roll my own now because I got a cone that I can put it in with Jungle Raps, and I don't have to roll my blunt. It's called Jungle Blunts, Jungle Raps. So anyway, I was invited to go up there to see Dr. Dre
for Jungle Raps.
Jungle Raps. So now next I'm gonna advertise for Greyhound, Lonzo.
Yes.
You know where Mississippi is. You know
Yeah.
where New York is, right? I had to figure out how to get my ASS up there because some people that was like, "That's Dr. Dre, get your ass up there." So I was like, "Okay," and I had to take a Greyhound to New
Greyhound.
York.
You can say H-Dub.
Damn.
You can say H-Dub told you to do that. That's our man Harold Whaley.
Yeah, well, H-Dub, if I say H-Dub, they know who cussed me out. It wasn't Quinn, my brother. Shout out to Quinn out there in Oxnard. He's a DJ. He's a big fan of Dr. Dre. So I took a Greyhound from Mississippi to New York to get my ass up there to the weed show. And I'm a preacher's kid, teacher's kid. I'm like, surely Dr. Dre's going to say, welcome to the marijuana show. Welcome to the cannabis show. But did he do that, Lonzo?
What?
No, he got to booming saying, "Hey, welcome to the weed show," and so that changed my life because people were like, "Yeah, so you're a weed head. You went to go see Dr. Dre because you a weed head," and I was like, "I know who my friends are," because I was like, Dr. Dre, and when I didn't get to talk to him, Dr. Dre was like, "Why would I change it to weed, the cannabis show or the marijuana show because they don't say cannabis there?" And my first time with edibles, too much. There, and I thought the aliens were going to come get us in New York, but they did not. Thank you, Dr. Dre, for letting me be on the weed show and the cupcakes. So,
the crazy thing about that show, I had quite a few folks out there who joined in, and the reason we called it the weed show is because I said, how come people walk around here asking for money, but if they want to get weed, they always have money for weed. They always got weed money. Where does weed money come from? You don't have a job, you don't work, you don't do anything, but you have weed money. Where does that come from?
As a woman, that I didn't even understand that question because I used to did not have to have weed money and I didn't have to roll my own. But when I became this powerful little businesswoman that I am, I was told that you got to roll your own. But weed money for women, that's a good question I just put in the chat. Are women expected to have weed money? And now times are changing, Lonzo and Dre. I guess we should have weed money, I guess, right?
Yeah, because you know the old saying, gas, grass, and ass, nobody rides for free. So,
And the grass they talk about is not the one that's on your front lawn.
Right.
But the fun part is we're trying to find out, has women taken over the whole weed mentality? Because we're still coming. Yesterday was 420. And that's Universal Global Earth Weed Day, 420, all over the place. And we want to ask the people in the chat room, especially ladies, get in the chat room. Are women smoking more weed than dudes? And if so, tell us how you're doing it and what's your favorite.
In the chat room, Dancing Interstellar said, I know some grandmas who smoke their weed for their arthritis.
Yeah,
so
right.
Grandma.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, cataracts. But for arthritis, see, so grandmas out there representing women of 420. I think if I had more women come through, and then let's see. Marlon said he had an edible in for the first time in 2018. Yeah, those edibles. I'll tell y'all this as a woman who is in the 420. I actually had somebody that came into town when I had some edibles, and he was kind of shady. You know what? I was hoping he would stand me up. Is that bad? Because I didn't want to share my edibles with him. And I was hoping he would
that's the evolution of weed. Hold on one second, brother. Lonzo, I think that's the evolution of women in weed, is that they have the edible choice. But when Lonzo and I were coming up, and I'm not giving Lonzo's age away, and I'll give mine away. I don't give a damn.
Everybody know I'm old.
The problem is, in the late 70s, early 80s, I remember, because being a young DJ, we would always get this weed thing, because you get the billfold of the albums. Remember that?
Right. You had to put your seeds out.
In there, and that's how you used to, get it ready. I never knew how to do any of that. My brother was an expert. He could do it, keep the album on his legs, put the weed in the middle, talk, be on the phone, start doing this, smoking a cigarette. Like, how do you do all of that? And not spill one kernel of weed. I never understood how to do that. But anyway, when I remember it used to be called skunk weed back then, because when you lit it up, it just stumped the whole crib up or wherever you were. You always smoke weed. I don't care what party I was at. I don't care what hall I did, I don't care what concert I've been to, weed was always present, especially at a Parliament Funkadelic concert. What's your thoughts, Lonzo? What's your
Nah,
thoughts?
man, you know what? That's just the opposite here in LA. Weed was not always a factor here in LA. Weed, I think. Oh, wait, hold on. Weed was like it was rediscovered. We had weed back in the day. Don't get me wrong. We had the same album covers. You had to you had to put on the album cover, slant the album cover. We actually prefer the shoebox top. Okay, the shoebox top gave you a spot for the seed to roll down to. Okay, you had to be extra good to do it on the album cover because of the album cover.
I'm telling you, my brother was an expert.
If you had to separate the seeds from the weed, you had to have someone to catch them because if not, they'd be all over the floor. Next thing you know, like my brother, you got weed growing out your carpet. You got weed growing out the carpet. True story. Okay, true story. But for us on the LA, we used to wear those polyester pants, and if the weed was if a seed made it to the joint and popped on your pants, that shit would burn through your pants like butter, like hot butter. And next thing you know, you got holes in your pants. No shit, you would have holes in your pants from weed seeds, and that's how the people knew you were smoking weed. That's why so many of us wore jeans back then because it took a minute for it to burn through the jeans. But polyester pants,
right?
Them pants get hot and shit is coming right through there in a matter of seconds. And now you got to jump up and start fanning yourself because you might have your nuts on fire. Anyway.
See, they're fashion. Weed fashion.
Huh?
We know you at the club even after dark.
Weed was not a big factor for us. Sherm was a factor. We had to deal with more Sherm heads.
Really?
We had Sherm was a lot more popular. I had one of my boys in the neighborhood. He was the Nino Brown of marijuana for the whole damn near county of LA. But because the guy who owned the club was from the same neighborhood, he was an older gentleman. They all respected. Everybody respected him. Okay, when it came to the different businesses, his business never interfered with my business. So it was. But we had it. Don't get me wrong. We had it. We had some good stuff, but it just was back then. Your girlfriend you never sent your girlfriend to the weed house. You never would do that. You had to go on yourself. True. You would, right. It was a different kind of etiquette. Girl, unless the girl knew the weed man, unless it was her weed man, she was turning you on to. It would never turn you on to the weed man. You never sent your girl to a house. That was something you did. It was a different kind of etiquette. Depending on how well she rolled, she may be the roller. Back then, I could roll better than Benson and Hedges. Okay, I was good with it. I could outroll the Benson and Hedges. All I needed was some cotton to make my own filters. I ain't lying. That was my job. But again, we talking about 4-finger dimes, 2-finger nickels. Mm-hmm. 4-finger dimes, 2-finger nickels.
4-finger nickels. I was no good at rolling weed ever because I got big fingers and big hands. So every time I would go to do it, it would always slip. Even how you try to keep it moist and trying to, manipulate a bamboo or easy water. And I'm like, damn, this isn't working. Damn, I hate this. So you know what I did? And my father was a big pipe smoker because my father's Jamaican, just to let you know, when he was alive. And most people thought my father smoked weed in his pipe, which he did not. He smoked a different smoke blend, Lord Ligonier and some other stuff. But when he went by, it would smell like, wow, your dad smokes the best weed. So what did I do? I went to the pipe store and I bought a pipe. I said, I'm sick and tired of trying to roll weed because this isn't working. And I would take that skunk and put it in a pipe. And people were like, Dre, you out of control. You got a pipe. Dre got a pipe. And I ain't talking about no crack pipe. I'm talking about a tobacco pipe and put it in there. So my dime, my nickel would go in there. And I would have to say, don't dribble on my pipe. Wipe the pipe and pass it around. Wipe the pipe, pass it around.
That's why water pipes were the best. Okay? Because you didn't wrap your mouth around the pipe. You put it in and you just fill and them bubbles. Oh man. Anyway, man, we got to change the subject a little bit. We're gonna mess around on YouTube.
In the chat, before you change the subject, I guess Dancing Interstellar is a lady here with me, and I guess who was that said that even though the marijuana is legalized here, Child Protective Services won't let me even Child Protective Services won't let me even though it's legal in MI. I guess that's Michigan.
Now dig this right here. Here's the part that I had to check some fools one time at my club. I let some folks use my building to do a rehearsal. It was in the evening time. The club was closed. They were doing a rehearsal. Some of the girls brought their kids. And I walked in the club to see what was happening. And they got a big old pile of weed on the table. And then they got another cloud going at another table. They got kids playing 2 tables down.
Right.
Y'all realize y'all can't have them kids in here while y'all smoking weed? Oh, my mama had me in the house when I was drinking. You ever heard of a contact drunk fool? You finna get the contact high. Oh, if they find marijuana in their system, but whether they hit the joint or just got a contact, your ass gonna lose your kids. Okay, you're about to lose your kids, and that's the level of irresponsibility that we face right now. Because people think because my mama drunk and drank and smoked around me, yeah, she smoked nicotine cigarettes. She smoked nicotine cigarettes and old Taylor or whatever, something old. She wasn't smoking marijuana that got you high from sitting in the same room with her. So therefore, it's a total difference. But so many people are so stuck on their ways, and now Child Protective Services is snatching people's kids left and right behind legal marijuana.
Wow. Well, I don't want anybody to get snatched up, especially you ladies out there with the weeds. I want to know, do women out there enjoy smoking weed, especially when they're with the guy or the girl they want to be with? Is that like a great aphrodisiac for them at that time? And then I'm going to tell you a story about the first time I ever got concert high and concert contact.
Let me see in the chat. Nobody said anything yet about answering that question. Let's see.
Well, let me
about
one second,
we have we talked about the
let me tell you a quick story about the first time I got what you call concert contact high, like Alonzo was expressing. I went to a show in Springfield, Massachusetts with my brother. He was in college. We went to see Parliament Funkadelic on stage at his school, and everybody knew what was going to go down. And my brother brought me there, and he did one of my brother's older than me. My brother Fred, love him to death. He's older. He did one of these moves. Now you stay in the chair right here, and I'll be right back. And I'm like, where you going? I got to go check on something. That's his favorite line. What you checking on? Concert starts. Funkadelic comes out, and this huge skull comes on the stage. And one of members of Parliament, Funkadelic, comes out and says, well, it's time to get the show started right. If we're going to start it right, it's time to get right tonight. And he picked up this huge joint and stuck it in the mouth of the skull. And then he pulled out this big lighter and lit it. And then all of a sudden, the eyes of the skull lit up red. The smoke started puffing. He said, now it's time to get to the show. And we thought that was just like a stage prop. That was real weed. The whole gym was clouded up. And my brother came back halfway through the concert, and he was high as a guy. He goes, hey, you all right? I said, where you been? He said, I had to go get something. I'll be right back. He was with his girlfriend about four floors down, smoking weed with her.
Wow.
I was like, why didn't you just come upstairs? He said, yeah, but I couldn't let her smoke weed around you because you go tell mom and let her know that I let you smoke weed. I said, I didn't have to smoke weed. I'm in this concert. And the whole concert was smoke filled. So that's the contact weed story at a concert that I was going to tell you.
Now, I got
a Parliament.
Huh?
I said at a Parliament concert. You got to have P-Funk.
I'm looking at
Parliament Funkadelic. Yes, it was.
I'm looking at Dancing in Stellar Monkey saying not till she get her kid, not till I get my kid back. So it sounds like she lost her kid because of marijuana. Yeah.
Oh, we're sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Oh no, not for my kid can't pass the drug test. It was an edible. Oh, it was an edible. It was an edible. Oh shit! And
you let your kid have an edible?
No, they're in the chat room. Maybe the kid grabbed a cupcake or something. They grabbed the cupcake.
What happened?
We had that at the weed show. Tell them, brother, that we had cupcakes, edibles, brownies. I forgot the young lady that did it for us. Mr. Snow, our good friend Snowman, brought this young lady to the weed show, and she brought a whole bakery of, brownies, cupcakes, muffins, the whole thing. It was crazy.
Yeah, wow. I ate too much, but like I said, we were saying I ate too much, but the edibles, usually when people do argue about the edibles, don't they say that can happen? So we want to know, the edibles is what they use against saying that the kids might accidentally get it or something like that.
I did an edible on an accident one time. I had a bad habit at the club of stealing cupcakes. People stopped bringing cupcakes. Stop bringing, because the birthday people stopped bringing big old cakes to the club. They just bring cupcakes, and usually they wouldn't start passing them out till like 12 o'clock. So I'd walk past the stack of cupcakes and snatch me a cupcake, rearrange it, down it right quick, and keep on going. Throw the little wrapper in the garbage can. I did it one day at the club, and all of a sudden I'm like, damn, what the fuck is wrong with me? I go talk to the bartender. I said, babe, she said, you all right, boss? I said, yeah. I'm high as hell. She said, what you do? I said, I ain't hit no weed or nothing. She said, what you do? I said, all I had was a cupcake. She started laughing. Oh, them cupcakes are infused with whatever it is, THC. I'm like, oh my God. That was Friday night, 11:30. I was still high Sunday afternoon. I was still high Sunday afternoon. I don't like that. Okay. Thank you, Rob Trouble. From a woman's perspective, and you can throw this in the chat room. Do women like edibles better, or do they like smoking better? Which do they favor, or which do you, in your experience, favor?
I can't pick because they both have. I think I like edibles now because it's a little classier or something like that. But in smoking, I'm that person that be coughing up my eyes and my throat and all that stuff. I hadn't mastered it where it's supposed to be, but they say that's that's the good stuff or something that's like that. Now, but edibles, yeah. Mm-mm.
A lot of ladies I know, they prefer the vape pens. They're much cleaner. The vape don't get in your clothes. You can actually keep your perfume on. You don't have to worry about spritzing yourself down with Febreze and shit. Your car don't stink. So most of the women I know, they keep a vape pen charged up, ready to go at any given moment, and they like it a lot better. You still get the high of weed without having the smell all in your car and your chances of you getting a 502. And yes, smoke hits faster, but edibles last much longer, and that is very true. And I like getting high and coming back down. I don't need to be high for a whole birthday period.
Somebody said edibles take a long time to kick in. Go ahead, Barry.
That's the part that fools you, because you eat it and it don't kick in right away, so you keep on eating them. My partner sells gummies, and he says, man, he told his partner, hey man, this experienced brother that's been smoking for a while, don't eat but one. He ate about 3 of them because he couldn't feel it, and said he was high for damn near 4 days. All right, no.
Well, real quick, going back to the vape pens, we must keep the Free Britney G campaign going. She's still over in Russia. She plays for the Phoenix N.W.A basketball team. We must free Britney G because allegedly she had a vape pen that had special vape things in it. We don't know if it was weed or if it was something else, but she's still being held in Russia. Keep the Free Britney campaign going. If you can free Britney Spears, we can free Britney G. Come on, y'all. Let's keep that alive and going. But that's why I said I wanted to bring it up when you were talking about vape pens. So I want to tell one story since we're talking about edibles and cupcakes and brownies. My partner Thomas Reed and I, we show a podcast called Two Blind Mics. So we were putting it and filming it for a video one time. So we had a show, and we brought some of the people down from the weed show to do it. So the young lady that made the brownies and the cupcakes, because we didn't get any during the show when we had the weed show, because when everybody left, they all grabbed everything, and I didn't get one. See, Bernadette, I got 2 or 3. I got 0. Anyway, she gave Thomas and I like
vultures
a box of brownies and cupcakes. And I was like, oh, cool. So I took mine and I'm driving home and I said, okay. Well, I was being driven home. I said, I want to try one of these brownies to see what it's all about. And me being, very brownie loving, I ate the whole brownie in like 5 to 10 minutes. And I said, brownie tastes good. Let me try one of these cupcakes. And somebody said, no, what are you doing? I said, this just tastes good. I don't feel nothing. Don't do it. Don't do it. I said, all right, I'll do it when I get home. I got home. I walked downstairs and I sat on the couch and that brownie kicked in like nothing ever. And all I remember was sitting there staring. And I kept staring. I kept saying, why am I staring like that? What the hell's going on? I was higher than I've ever been in my life. And I had the cupcake in my right hand, fell asleep and woke up with the cupcake still in my right hand, staring off the couch at the wall. Talking about, that's an interesting wall. But I thought you were blind. How do you know that's a wall? What is in that wall? I called Tom.
He was high as hell. He was seeing shit. You know he was high. What? Man seeing shit. You know something ain't right.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God.
I called my partner Thomas. Hold on. I called my partner Thomas. And he said, Trey, did you eat like those brownies and cupcakes? I said, yeah, I ate like a whole brownie real fast. He said, what? I said, yeah. And then it just hit me. He said, I was crazy. I was driving home with my wife from the show. I ate 2 cupcakes and a brownie. And I made her pull over because I said, the car's going too fast. It's driving me crazy. And he's blind. He said, no, you got to stop. You got to stop. She said, I haven't even started the car. What's wrong with you?
Drizzle, drizzle, time for this one to come home.
The car was not moving. I understand. Oh my gosh.
All right, folks. There you go. Blind man seeing shit because he got high.
Got higher than everybody.
That's amazing.
I've heard notorious stories about Stevie Wonder, but now I can talk to Stevie on a certain level because I know what that feels like. What's going on in the chat room?
All right, so we talked about having. Let's see. Marlon said I had an experience with cupcakes my second year in Grambling. That's down south in Louisiana. Hey, HBCUs, we don't do that at HBCUs. But hey, let's see. Dr. Dre made a similar mistake, but they taste so good. That's the thing. The edibles taste so good, and we can't get enough of them. So that's it. I'm telling you. Shout out to Grambling. Did I miss anything in the chat? Let's see. Yeah. I love the people that'll tell you about the MGs and stuff. So Rob said my cousin gave me a 250 MG edible. My first go around with edibles. I was high as hell, and I was at a family event. Isn't that when you're supposed to get them?
No. Because you ain't seen people in a long time, and their last memory of your ass is gonna be red eyed, looking crazy as hell.
Oh, that's how you can deal with them.
I never forget one time I came home high. I was about 15 years old. And I hadn't even get high that long. I came in the house. I ain't hit the joint 1 or 2 times. And I came in the house, looked at my cousin's wife. I said, Lillian, I ain't seen you in 20 years. She said, Lonzo, you ain't been 15 years old. I said, you right. Let me go to bed.
Ooh, 20 years.
I ain't seen you in 20 years. You ain't been 15 years old. How can it be 20 years?
That's an epic story. See, that's why you say that, Lonzo. Because you told on yourself the first time. Yeah. You know, that's hey, cuz, let's go for a walk. Let's go. We'll be back.
Anyway, folks.
But you know what's strange for me, Lonzo?
No, I'm just gonna give us a shout out. Go ahead. Do your thing, man.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say you listen to Legendary Connects, Dr. Dre from Your MTV Raps, and more, and Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast Hip Hop, with Miss Barefoot Bernadette. The Divine Connection, Mississippi. I know you barefoot. I know all country girls walk around barefoot. I ain't never.
Because I found out you got Mississippi roots. Didn't you say somebody was from
My
Mississippi?
daddy from Mississippi. I'm telling you, Biloxi, Mississippi. Cotton picking brother.
Mississippi roots.
My daddy from
There you
Biloxi,
go.
Mississippi. My mama from Minden, Louisiana. Yes, I'm country. I'm country rooted like a southern bitch. I'm first generation city.
That's it. So yeah, I mean, you got to ground. I'm gonna do the little spiritual thing. You grounding. We grounding all the time. So
Yeah.
take off your shoes over there, Lonzo.
Yeah, I'm on ass. I'm in on linoleum. That ain't gonna work for me.
Never mind. Don't ground there. Ain't no telling what they're gonna get inside of our system. Hey, speaking of the system, banned books. Banned book. Toni Morrison had I think how many is Dre saying something?
Well, go ahead. You go ahead.
Oh yeah, I had poked fun and said that time you go to the book club with your weed man, but that's not how the banned books happen for Toni Morrison. Toni Morrison's books have been banned for other reasons. Dre told me about that story about the books being banned. Correct?
Well, there's a lot of books being banned right now by some people in, we should say, the Republican Party. And I got to give a big shout out to Rob Reiner, who said if you vote for a Republican in this midterm, then you're voting to kill democracy. And I said, wow, Rob Reiner is like so prophetic with that. Because when you think about it, we're banning books and it's 2022. I'm trying to figure that out. And what's real strange is that the people that want to ban the books, I guarantee you, most of them never read the books that they want to ban. So, I mean, when you talk about Toni Morrison's book, what's so bad about that beloved book that we need to ban it, that we're trying to hide? That's the whole purpose of it.
Well, you know what, dude?
I mean, next you want to ban The Color Purple because it's a color purple.
The color purple is on the ban list. The question is what is in a math book that is so bad you have to ban a math book? They talking about banning certain math books, man. But you know what math books teach though? Here's the problem with math books. This is something I love about being old because we didn't have this issue back in the day. Math books teach you critical thinking and reasonable deduction. Okay?
Yes, that's the purpose of that.
Math teaches you critical thinking and reasonable deduction. All right. So, what I mean by that is, after you have so many different problems, it automatically comes down to one or two things at a certain point in time. And this is this life itself, not just numbers. Sometimes you start having issues with certain people, you start realizing, well, this person right here said this person did this person said this, but no matter what happens, this person right here is always in the middle. Okay, so now
the common denominator.
That's common denominator, and a lot of times people fail to look at the common denominator in a situation. There's common denominators in numbers, but there's also common denominators when it comes to life. And once you start understanding that, you can start eliminating certain people or certain situations from your life. You know, when you go to a certain place, and that's why a lot of drug rehab places won't let you go back to where you came from, because you know if you get to around certain things, you have these common denominators, these triggers that will lead you back to where you trying to get from. But most people don't have that common sense when you're under the influence. Once you step away from it, now you realize you got these common denominators that will lead you away from certain situations, whether it be people, drugs, whatever the case may be. And they don't want people to think for themselves. They want people to be programmed. In most cases, they don't want people to be thinking for themselves. They want people to be programmed so that I can tell you what you need to think, and that way you can react in the way I want you to react, which that means you can vote the way I want you to vote. And that's the thing that we have to really start pushing, just some normal, logical thinking. Okay, if 1 and 1 is 2, 2 and 2 got to be 4. You can't. It ain't no alternative facts. Ain't no misleading. Some things don't lie. Numbers don't lie. People do. So once you understand critical thinking, you'd be surprised how much better your life will be.
Well, it's basically like one of the subjects that I grew up with is called algebra, and it would be A plus B equals C. And when you have critical thinking and you can break that down in an algebraic thought, all of a sudden you can figure out when there's a missing letter. If it goes A plus blank equals C, you go, wait a minute, what happened to B? And that's what gets people all thrown off. You mean you actually got to know what the variable for B is? So when you get to those common denominators that we're speaking about, that's breaking things down in fractions. You change the way we critically think. And usually the common denominator when you smoking weed is the weed dealer. So what you want to do is to be able to break something off from him so you can bring it to the other factions so that you can create a whole. So sometimes you might get a half, a quarter, a third, or a fourth. But if you don't have that critical thinking, if you can't just dissect those fractions, you get stuck. So let's go back to algebra. If A equals 10 pounds of weed plus B equals 20 pounds of weed, C's got to equal 30 pounds of weed. But what usually happens, if you have an A 10-pound bag of weed versus a B 20-pound bag of weed, and you're smart and you break it down, you might have C divided by 30. And that's when you start figuring out common denominators. And that's why they don't want you to critically think. It's how you break up 30 pounds and make more money out of 30 than you make out of 10 or 20. It's not because you have a higher total. You got to make 30, 60. But that's a whole nother story when you're dealing with math. And I find it interesting, the math books that they want to ban are the same math books that they created. How did that happen?
Look, man, that is the most asinine situation in the world. Here we are. These books, a lot of these books have been in print for years. Okay, they've never been a problem till now. People want to reshape. They want to reshape history and make all the things that they do negative to other people. Kind of sweep it under the rug. It's like they want to put a N.W.A. on history. Okay, yeah, I did it, but you can't learn about it. Okay, what kind of bull is that? Yeah, I did it. I fed babies. I fed black babies to alligators for alligator. Huh?
Right.
I enslaved these people, but you can't read about it because they feel at some point in time they may get some type of sympathy for other people and start empathizing with them and make things stop perpetuating the stereotypes that they're trying to project in the media.
The one thing I find interesting with that is when they complain about CRT, critical race thinking, and that's not even taught in schools. That's taught in the law school in Harvard. So it's like, what the hell are y'all talking about? But the problem is they're tired of people expressing the truth about slavery, about why you brought many different Africans from different nations here to work and build a nation for free. That's why they don't want you to know math, because they say 20 million people who work for free equals no payment. How'd that work? How does that work? But that's why it's important that we get out in November and vote and make sure our votes count so that we can add them up properly when they try to go off to the corner and move things around and lose
right.
and say, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. We have to pay close attention to that. So come this November on election day, that's not the day to be smoking weed, nor the day to be smoking weed after you got to count. We got to be focused. We got to be flexible to the point we have to know we made a difference. Because these folks out here, they're dead serious. How do you ban The Color Purple? And that's a movie. I'm trying to understand that. And you can access all these books on your smartphone. How do you, that's why I was talking to Lonzo in the beginning about his book, N.W.A. without Alonzo. Can't have that. How do you ban a book that is obtainable on your phone? That doesn't make sense.
Right.
What do you think?
You said smartphones. These smartphones are being used by dumb people, and these smartphones are using to program people. If you can hear me well, I just really, these phones are a trip. I don't think they're smart as they could be, but sometimes they're too smart. It's fine.
Well, you got a situation where you got a smartphone that is being programmed. If people can insert things into your phone through various social media platforms, advertising, to lead you to believe certain things. And as you start to like certain things, the algorithms will lead you to more things like that. So now you'll go down that rabbit hole of trying to just make something, decipher something that you really weren't thinking about, but because this is what they're leaning towards, and if they can get any part of you to bite into it, now they got you. And that's what the phone is so
I got
smart.
a book. I don't know why they don't ban Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Why are they going to ban that?
She had 7 dwarfs working for her for free, waiting on her hand and foot until some wicked witch gave her an apple of all things and knocked her out. What do you think them 7 dwarfs did when Prince Charming showed up? That you can see on a different channel at a different time.
See, Dre high. He tripping now. Dre got
that story time. Don't do that story time.
What the hell did Snow White and the 7 dwarfs come from being slavery? How in the hell did you come up with that tonight?
Look. Snow White worked for the 7 dwarfs.
No,
Weedy,
they was all
Smokey,
just cool.
Blackie, Dopey,
Grumpy.
Doc,
They wasn't working.
Lonzo.
Wait. See, no. See, now, see, you wrong now. The real slave labor was Santa Claus.
See, and Dancing and Stella said, "Leave Snow White alone." Hi ho, hi ho, hi ho.
See, they sung a song to their white slave master. Hi ho.
No, the real slave master was Santa Claus. He had the little elves in there. He had working in the shop. He had Rudolph and them pulling his sleigh all over all over the world. He wouldn't give him no money. He wouldn't buy no light bulbs. He had to use a motherfucking nose. Okay, come on, man. That's slave labor right there. That's
no. But I can't do that because I love Santa Claus. But Santa Claus gave to everybody, even if you were bad, even if you were good, even no matter what gender you
ain't been to Compton, then have you?
No matter what.
You ain't been to Compton.
Does Compton have a different Santa Claus?
You ain't been to Compton. Compton to check your good. Santa Claus and Compton to check your ass.
Your Santa Claus took the presents.
Man, come on, dude. Come on. No. All that no good and bad
That's
shit.
No. That's Santa tape. That's Santa tape.
No, all that no good and bad shit. You better be right. You ain't getting nothing.
Yeah.
Back in with my son, I have an older son. My oldest son, he would act a fool right before that last report card before Christmas. He missed a many a Christmas. I told his mama, wish you would buy him something. I'm not gonna reward this fool, this brother. Hell no. You ain't getting nothing. Everybody else got something because if your ass don't produce in life, you ain't gonna have nothing either. Get used to it. And his ass got right. He got right quick.
He figured it out.
He a fireman right to this day. Okay.
Give them receiving.
Yep. He's a fireman right to this day. So yes. Yeah.
He's wearing red. Like Santa Claus.
What we got going on?
Oh, they brought the Keebler elves into this now. They said, the Keebler elves come. That's where the Keebler elves come from, don't you know?
Little midget slave, little people slaves. What they put them in a tree? They sleep in a tree. Come on, man.
He forced them to work 12-hour shifts. They couldn't even leave the tree.
Couldn't leave the tree. No benefits, no dental, no health care, no nothing. Just make some shit, make some shoes. No cookies.
What about my man Lucky Charms? He had everybody fooled because they were magically delicious. He tried to fool everybody with his Lucky Charms. Nah. He was the ultimate thing.
He had them big old buckles on his shoes. He was cool. I liked him.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like Lucky Charms. We talking about high. We were talking about weed so long. We talking about all the foods that we ate when we got high. I like Captain Crunch. What you like, Bernadette? Come on, everybody.
I get I gotta get that fat burger. A good fat burger with edibles. That's the secret to edibles. You gotta get some fat.
All right, hold on. What's your favorite smoking cereal?
Fruity Pebbles.
Fruity Pebbles. All right. Bernadette like Fruity Pebbles. I like Captain Crunch. Dre?
I gotta be honest with you. It was Frosted Flakes, and then you added in bananas, strawberries, and I was crazy. No wonder I'm a diabetic. We used to put sugar on the Frosted Flakes because it wasn't sweet enough.
With the munchies?
See? Martin Cody, what's your favorite cereal after a Smoky? after smoking. Dancing Stella. What's your favorite
You said
cereal?
Cinnamon Life.
Cinnamon
Life cereal. Hey,
Okay.
Mikey. Hey, Mikey. That's a Mikey cereal. It's like
Rob Trouble, what you like? Rob Trouble, what you like? What's your favorite cereal when that time comes? Come on, y'all.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Rob is Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Mine is, I love me some Captain Crunch, sober or smoking. I don't give a damn. I love my favorite cereal. I know it ain't worth it.
Mouth.
Huh?
When you tear up the roof of your mouth?
Well, I have to work. I know how to work with it. I'm a crunchologist, so I know how to work with it. It's not a problem for me.
I got one for you.
What's that?
Here's the best cereal if you get real high and you want to really lose your mind. Alphabets and try to make words.
I'm done. See, you know. See.
I don't think we want to get high with you, Dre.
You break a brother down. He trying to give you a lesson. Could you spell aqua boogie in alphabet cereal? Hell no. The spoon ain't big enough. My man Martin says pop cereal.
Corn Pop, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Fruit Loops. Fruit Loops are good. Fruit Loops is good with cold milk. Fruit Loops ain't no joke. Fruit Loops.
Wait a minute. What about Sugar Smacks?
Chicken Smack, you gotta eat them fast. They get soggy real fast. They ain't that much fun.
Sugar Smacks is no.
Sugar Smacks will get smoggy. If you got to knock them down real quick. And they get soggy.
You getting the no frill Sugar Smack? The one I used to get, you could pour the Sugar Smacks in the bowl, put the milk in, walk away, watch a show, come back, and that Sugar Smacks is still crunchy.
No,
is that the real Sugar Smack?
The yellow box with the frog on the Sugar Smack.
Mine didn't come in a bag. Mine came in a bag. It didn't come with no box.
See,
I ain't get no toys.
You didn't get the right Sugar Smack.
Mine just had a bag.
That's why I asked. Because it's a different.
Stella got one. Sugar Smacks without the milk. Now that's a hit right there.
Oh,
that's a hit.
Like your sunflower.
Yeah,
that's a snack.
That's a snack right there. Sugar Smacks without the milk. Just that's like eating sugar popcorn.
Sweet peanuts or something.
Yeah.
True. Let's see. Honeycombs.
King Toy. Say honeycomb. Never really mess with honeycombs too much myself. What about y'all?
I don't like honeycombs. Because when you put honeycombs with the milk, that got soggy real fast.
They did. I was surprised to do that. I like Honey Nut Cheerios. Now, y'all, since I'm grown, I pour honey on my Honey Nut Cheerios.
Oh, you trying to get your foot off. You trying to lose a limb.
That's what
I'm being healthy. No, shut up. That's healthy. Honey's good for you.
Trying to lose a limb, okay? No.
She put honey on a Honey Nut Cheerio.
You trying to lose
I drizzle it. Drizzle. That's it. See? Wait. We're going to another snack. Salty snacks. Nothing beats Doritos when high.
Yeah.
I can't find a lie in that. Oh my God, Doritos. Yes.
Wait. Take you some Doritos. Wait. Take you some Doritos and melt some cheese on top of it.
Woo.
That part. Control.
Okay. So
I got some next level.
Get yourself a bag. Get a bag of Ruffles and get some French onion dip.
Yeah.
Take that, and the onion dip got to be cold though.
Yeah.
And put that. Oh, you want to about the hot, cold, and crunchy taste? That's the best. That's the best thing in the world.
The Doritos, the cheese, and the salsa. Heat them up in the microwave. Heat the Doritos and the cheese first, then pour salsa on top of that. Now go sit down in front of the TV and turn on a good cartoon. You're gonna be sleeping.
You gotta get the Dorito taco at Taco Bell.
Come on.
They got that made out of the Dorito.
We didn't get so drifted off of this. We didn't got in the cereal.
The munchies. We got the munchies.
I know it was 420. The day is 421. The day after 420. Battlecat, my boy DJ Battlecat's birthday. We just say shout out Battlecat. But today this whole show has been about nothing but weed, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It's about women
and weed. You let your girl down. You put some cheese on her, and then you just never mind. Anyway,
infused cheese. But I'm gonna say this: my best relationships have been with the weed head. With weed heads.
With Doritos and
we don't argue as much.
No, true story. True facts. What I'm about to tell you is not scientific. It's personal experience. In 2008, I went back on the corner of Avalon and Segundo, where Eve After Dark is. I ran 2 nightclubs. Had one upstairs and one downstairs. One was a female / male exotic strip club. The other was a regular dance club for adults. When I first got there, I had to hire a small army of about maybe 8 to 10 guys, depending on what kind of parties I had, to patrol the club. Strictly alcohol. We throwing people out every week. It's a regular nightclub. We throwing drunks out, the whole 9 yards. I think it was 2010, maybe 2012, when they brought weed in as medicinal, okay, for medicinal purposes. Things got real calm. But by 2000, when we became super legal, 2018, 2016, my security team dropped down to 4 people, just two doormen, okay? A doorman upstairs and a doorman downstairs, because my problems dropped down to nothing. People, let me say this. You will never hear the phrase, I'm going to finish this joint and whoop your ass. It ain't going to happen. It'll never happen. You'll never hear that phrase, okay? But you will hear, I'm gonna finish this drink and shoot your ass, okay? And the two drugs, the two methods of getting high have total different. Weed has a different effect on each individual that consumes it. Some people are happy drunks. Some people are mean drunks. I've seen some of the nicest guys have a drink and want to fight the whole club. I've seen some of the meanest guys want to buy the whole club a drink, okay? But with weed, everybody's like, yeah, I ain't tripping. I ain't tripping that shit. Go ahead. Yo, hit my car. Okay?
My best relationship.
Hit my car. Step in my shoes again. I ain't tripping.
You can play a song, and if you hire when we play that song, that song was so good. What was that song you was playing? What song you talking about? Play that song, man.
When I would have the club, I had a balcony on the second floor, outdoor balcony, and the club would be packed. 1 minute to be empty, almost empty. And I'd go outside, it'd be 60, 70 people on the balcony blowing weed. And whenever we had something that was a good record came on or a good dancer came on, everybody would come in the club and the club would get packed again. The bar still made money, but the taco lady was killing it. Killing it. Okay?
Is that where you found out about the hot taco and salsas and Doritos?
Come on, man, because sometimes she didn't have time to make a taco. She would just make salsa, cheese, and some Doritos. And dude, that shit was going out the door like nothing. 90 going west. Everybody was happy, and it just made for such a good vibe. And everybody would just eventually just go to their cars and go home. They got drunk. They wanted to be in the parking lot and fight. That was true story. This is Lonzo's first-hand club experience.
I like that. That's a study. You did a whole study on marijuana.
I did a whole study on marijuana.
That's a case study.
This is a personal case study on marijuana versus alcohol. If I was able to sell marijuana at the club, I would much prefer to have a weed bar than a alcohol bar. If I can sell
now you can almost have an edible bar and not even worry about the liquor.
It'll take too long.
Yeah, because see now you also have to be concerned with liquor and alcohol, anything like that. One thing about weed, it's going to go down. You're going to sober up shortly. Marijuana, Drake, you're going to sober up shortly after that. Weed, people going to be going home high, waking up, going to church high, and you have to have a liquor liability license of an insurance policy, and you'll find yourself having a lot more claims because people are going to get drunk and fall asleep behind the car.
You want people
best relationship
in the parking lot.
Yeah,
that's what you're gonna have.
Well, folks, we almost wrapped up already, man. It's 59 minutes and 27 seconds into this show today. This show was brought to you by nobody but us. Okay, we've talked about weed, girls with weed, how weed affects the mind. All this was in honor of 420. Does anybody know why the date is 420? I know why. Did anybody else know why it's 420?
I remembered it why. I remember why it is, but I can't remember because I'm high right now. So you got to tell me, Alonzo.
Because at one
I'm looking
time,
for some alphabets.
the ideal time for people to get in their cars, who got off of work, was and smoke weed was 4:20. Usually take people 20 minutes after they leave their job to get in their car and blow a joint before they go home, and that's how 4:20 came about. And they just made it a date and made 4:20 April 20th International Weed Day. True story.
I like it.
Before the next International Weed Day, we're going to have some special smoke guests on the show and express their ways of making it happen, especially the ladies. We want to hear from the ladies with everything else. So, Bernadette, do we have anybody in the chat room that we need to say?
I have let's see, I think I had somebody. I did a little experiment on Clubhouse, and I had someone come through from Clubhouse. She came through. Miss Sarah came through, and in the chat we talked about. I mean, we had some awesome, powerful things like critical thinking was taught in high school, and the subjects went from food to Mexi Melt and Taco Bell. We went to also thinking about lazy teaching. So we got a lot of great topics to come back to, because we still can talk about these smartphones in dumb people's hands, or, whatever we can come up with. Our chat room has us backed up and covered with great topics and great responses about every subject we talked about. And free speech ain't free. I don't know who said that, but somebody said that when we were talking about the books, that free speech ain't free no more. So that is definitely...
Bernadette, in the words of Funkadelic, free your mind and your ass will follow.
All right. With that being said, Martin Cozy said, I had a good time. I like this. I like that. This is something new. It's just something new. As y'all can see, the same what me and Dusty do. And I'm still here. I'm still Lonzo. But when me and Dre get together, it's a different vibe. And I love me and Dusty got a different vibe. And that's just that Gemini in me. I can flip up like a page in a book. Makes me no different. We got Miss Bernadette in the middle keeping us. She is the soft filling from the hard Oreo ends that me and Dre provide.
Okay. I love y'all though, because y'all been there. Like I said, love y'all. Love the connection. I love the fun we have, because I mean, this right here, like I said, I've learned so much about camera and stuff like that. And somebody was like, Bernadette, do you realize you're part of hip hop history? And I'm like, I guess I am, because I got Lonzo on the West Coast and Dre on the East Coast, and little old me from Mississippi.
Bernadette, I'm gonna tell you the truth.
See the barefoot connection.
If I looked at you, I wouldn't think you smoke weed.
I would not think so.
I would. You don't look like a weed smoker to me. You look like you just you got any kids?
Yes, I have a son, and they call him my brother. But I have a 20-year-old Darius. So yeah, he's old. So he's a Gemini too. So
good guy, great kid. Love him already. When's his birthday?
The 31st of May.
Oh shit, he'll make Gemini. He might be crazy. Anyway, I'm just joking.
He's one of my dad's birthday. Marine Corps. Purple Heart, Vietnam veteran. They got the same birthday, so yeah. He got a mama. He got that mama switch. The switch that goes off when you might offend mama. He got that switch that goes off. That's the only thing I've seen in everything. And he's a daredevil. He's ziplined and all that stuff. So
okay, yeah.
I like it. So I love my Geminis and Sagittarius. That's Dre.
But you're a Virgo, right? Ain't you a Virgo or something like that?
No, I'm a Scorpio.
Oh, he's nasty. You nasty. You nasty.
Lonzo, when's your birthday? Lonzo? You're a Gemini.
To be honest with you, here's the crazy part. Like a true Gemini, I got two. No, seriously, this is a true story. I celebrate two birthdays because my birthday was June the 16th, and I had some point in time I had to apply for a duplicate birth certificate, and it came back June the 18th. Now, everybody, if you go to an almanac, it's June the 16th, 1957. I got 3 living witnesses say I was born on Father's Day in 57. But the government, when I had, and after 911, I had to get a copy of my birth certificate because I couldn't find it. And it came back on June the 18th. So my driver's license said June the 18th. But as I was going through one of my mom's old file cabinets, I found my original birth certificate, and it said June the 16th. So I celebrate June the 16th because that's me, Tupac, Arabian Prince. Me, Tupac, ran my boy Jerry Doby, my boy Dakar Orr, and a few other people's birthday, Daryl Davis. But also legally, it's on the 18th, which is a Saturday this year. So, yes, in true Gemini fashion, I celebrate 2 birthdays. So, it is what it is.
Wow.
I'm very happy. I'm just a Sagittarius. Jay-Z and I are born a day apart on the 4th. He's born the 4th. I'm on the 5th of December. So I'm not messing with you. And big shout to everybody. Don't forget, check out Alonzo's book, N.W.A. with Alonzo.
Yes,
Don't
sir.
forget.
Thank you. Much love, Dre. Much love, Bernadette. See you next Thursday, darling. We'll talk in the meantime. That's Miss B, Mississippi.
This was fun.
Feet twinkling in the mud. Just got all crawdad, got some crawdad soup
In the red clay.
in the red clay.
Grounding. There you go.
She's
See that picture in
grounding.
the background.
She's grounding with the red clay and the crawdad soup. And,
Hey, I'm a Scorpio.
oh, I gotta
Scorpio,
go.
you know.
I gotta go. Bye, Scorpio. Me and Dre still here, folks. Dre, what you gonna say before you go?
I'm going to say bye. And everybody, don't forget to check out my Instagram, Dr. Dre 39. That's DOCTOR 39 at Instagram and at Twitter. Please drop a line to us. And we're setting up the Instagram for Legendary Connects. We should be working on it ASAP too.
All right,
So
folks.
don't forget.
Dr. Dre and Lonzo, Legendary
Here we
Connects.
go.
Every Thursday, 6 o'clock, same time, same bad channel. In the meantime, folks, we are out of here, y'all. See you next week. Peace.